Mr. Speaker, I ask unanimous consent to address the chamber for 1 minute.
Without objection, the gentleman is recognized for 1 minute.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I wasn't going to use this 1 minute time, but I just got a text from some contacts down in the border in South Texas from Eagle Pass with drone footage of yet another enormous group that is crossing illegally onto private property around Eagle Pass. A Texas soldier tells us there have been 2,000 plus crossings in this specific spot in the last 8 days. Yet the Secretary of Homeland Security testified in the House Judiciary Committee that, quote, he and this administration have operational control of the border. But this is factually incorrect. And my colleagues on the other side of the aisle do not seem interested in having a debate or a discussion here on the floor of the People's House about a crisis facing the state of Texas and this entire country, with over 107,000 Americans dying last year from drug poisonings and drug overdoses, yet I get crickets from my colleagues on the other side of the aisle. You want to know what's happening in South Texas? Hispanics in South Texas are flocking away from a party that doesn't care if they suffer or if migrants suffer, while dead bodies rack up in the Rio Grande and the ranches in South Texas. They've had enough, I've had enough, and the people of Texas have had enough. I yield back.
Now let's talk about the damage being done to the United States of America. Mr. Secretary, do you know what this is? This is a mobile morgue, a body trailer, needed by counties in South Texas overwhelmed by dead migrants. That particular trailer is filled with these bodies, 27 bodies that were stored in this mobile morgue in South Texas with dead bodies of migrants. Dead bodies like this one found on a ranch just 3 weeks ago in South Texas. A dead migrant. Somehow that's compassion. How about the dead bodies found by migrants? Compassion. How about the little girl here with a brand on her arm? A little girl with a brand on her arm because of your policies. A little girl here in the desert found by ranchers trying to save their life. And how about the lost voices for people dying from fentanyl? The tens of thousands of Americans dying from fentanyl. Faces of Americans across this country dying because of fentanyl pouring into our country.
Time of the gentleman is expired.
You know full well.
Time of the gentleman is expired, Ms.
Encouraging people to come here, harming Texas and harming this country. You know it.
What are we doing for the people of the United States? I'm going to be told, oh, we're protecting the law. The law is being complied with. When instead what it is a fishing expedition for political purposes, which we saw on high display yesterday in the room next door, where we got nothing other than dawdling responses about an incompetent effort. And here we sit, mounting up debt for our children and grandchildren, wide open borders, destroying communities, endangering lives of Americans in South Texas, while I get smirks from my Democratic colleagues, while there are people right now facing attacks from cartels, dealing with it on a daily basis, and we get smirks and we get requests for emails from people in the White House. This is the face of the Democratic Party. This is the face of your Congress today, America.
I thank the chair. I have a motion. I do want to just say, shame on my colleague from Texas. To question the motivation of Democrats.
Shame on this body.
Yeah, I know. We've heard from you. It's my time.
And you'll continue to hear from me.
Wait a
in
minute.
defense of this country.
Mr. Chairman.
Hold up. He has the time.
I have the time.
America deserves the time.
Yeah. America deserves better than what I just heard from, Mr. Mr. Chairman, I have a motion.